understand how truly creative it is to be an engineer, how I am a designer. I am creating something new that didn't ever exist before. I've always just liked making things, and even as a kid, I like to take stuff apart and see how it worked.
In general, I'm more of an analytical thinker. Problem solving has always just seemed more interesting to me, and of course, I love that there's not necessarily one way to do things, but there is a right answer that's not really up for debate.
Engineering is as much about having your hands on stuff than it is about just drawing pictures. My dad always, I was always, come out here and help me with this, help us put this roof on, let's take this, we're gonna take the carburetor off this car. And I like figuring out the problem.
I was going to school for cosmetology. I was nearing the end of my schooling and I needed a job. So I ended up getting a job at HP, and within like a couple of months, I worked my way up into reliability testing, and I ended up falling in love with reliability testing.
Well, I went to college. I started in as a design engineering major. I started my career in their prototype shop and then finished my degree and then moved into quality and kind of went that route. And I've got just over 32 years in the business.
The job I had lined out going out of college went away because COVID was happening. ConMet had a position opening for a machine operator, and I applied and they hired me on as an operator. And then when the manufacturing engineer for Vancouver Machining was moving, I was like, here's my chance. And I interviewed and got the position into engineering, and that's how I wiggled my way in.
I was a production engineer before this at a really small company, and I really wanted to do design work, and I saw a listing on LinkedIn, and actually our HR recruiter reached out to me on LinkedIn. So I was really excited to hear from her and applied for the job.
What's really awesome about ConMet is the tuition reimbursement program. I'm going to school right now to be an engineer while still doing, higher level engineer technician work.
We have to throw the bias out. That's would be my hope for the future. Engineering is just, there's always someplace new you can go. There's always something to learn, even if it's simple. Not everything makes it to market. Failure sometimes is paramount to learning a good lesson. Things change all the time. Engineering will teach you anything. It'll teach you that change is constant.
And as engineers, we strive for perfection, but even when we reach that, I don't think anybody will ever admit that that's where it ends. And we're always pushing for a better performance and better product.
It would be awesome to do more outreach, just because test is cool, engineering is cool, and I wish more people knew about it.
Engineers make our world. They design the world we live in, and we need a more variety of voices. We need more women doing that. The world works for us as well.